Dr. Hovind, does the rainbow fit into the Hovind theory as God's sign to not flood the earth again? Do you think there were rainbows before? This question from, what's the name on here? Ben. Ben, I believe during the pre-flood world, before the flood came in the days of Noah, the air was under more pressure because of the canopy up above. I strongly believe in what's called the canopy theory, and the earth is round and it does spin and it goes around the sun, okay? But the canopy of ice above, probably 10 miles up, would increase air pressure, making cloud formation probably impossible. It is, I suspect, Adam and Eve and Noah and all those people had never seen a cloud or rain. Under high pressure, I mean, watch the weather. When the weatherman comes on, high pressure, clear skies. So no, they could not have a rainbow. Rainbow is dependent upon the light being broken up through cloud droplets, drizzle droplets in the sky. Okay, so I suspect they did not. It was a totally new phenomena. Probably rain was a totally new phenomena as of the flood. The canopy cracking, falling apart, and allowing the atmosphere to expand out to its current, say, 60 miles or whatever, would be a cooling effect on the earth, while the rain would be a heating effect, and they would cancel each other for Noah's flood.
Well, it couldn't be a local flood, because then that would have been a lie.
Right.
Local
floods all the time. Okay, if the sons of God are in fact angels that reproduced with women, what is stopping Satan from reproducing with humans today? Boy, Ben, I wish I had an answer to that. For 49 years I've struggled with that. I don't think you can prove that the sons of God intermarrying the daughters of men produced the giants, the Nephilim, the whole Nephilim theory from Genesis chapter 6. There have been many, many books written on that. I don't have a positive answer. I don't know. I can give you the 5 or 6 theories sometime, and I do that on my seminar series, but why not today? It appears like that Satan and the angels are incapable or not allowed or whatever to reproduce with humans. But that would just be an educated guess on my part. Have you read anything on that, brother? We need a motor.
Yep.
You got the remote. So what we need is to be able to take for Loch Ness Monster's head to come up and down. You need what?
Just need a servo motor.
A waterproof servo motor that had to be pretty heavy duty.
Yep.
To raise probably 100 pounds. So waterproof servo motor. If you got one of them laying around in your closet, call 855-BIG-DINO. I don't know, extension 1. Anna will take the note, and Nick can call you, okay, about what we need for the Loch Ness Monster. Okay, SpongeBob, Exodus chapter 20. And God spake all these words, saying, so this is God talking to Moses on Mount Sinai. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, and out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. First commandment. Nothing else before me. Okay? Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Graven means carved or engraved. Okay? Don't make a carved image of God. Interesting. I'll show you in a minute. Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Don't make a graven image of God. Okay? Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. I cannot honestly say I've ever completely understood that verse. But God will visit the iniquities of the fathers for several generations. Take it up with God if you disagree. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. When people use God's name or Jesus' name as a swear word, as many of you listening to me do, God said, don't do that. The Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. I believe this is the first one that has a punishment with it. God's not going to hold you guiltless. If you've ever sworn and used God's name in vain, God's got a record of that. Be ready to face God judgment day. Now, there's a way to get that fixed. But if you don't do that, you're in real trouble someday when you stand before God. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. You can't work, and you can't make anybody else work either. And these people today who claim they're keeping the Sabbath, well, are you using any utilities? You're making somebody work. Are you using your cell phone? You're making somebody work at the cell phone company somewhere. Don't use any electricity, no running water, no heat. Don't use any, I mean, don't make any stranger work. You're making somebody work. Can't drive on the highway. Can't light a fire, because you're kindling a fire in every cylinder, internal combustion engine.
Can't call the police.
Can't call the police. Okay. 4, that means because, in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Here is a clear teaching right from God, written on a rock with his finger, and going to give the rock to Moses. God said he made everything in 6 days. So question, when did dinosaurs live?
Garden of Eden.
Garden of Eden. God made everything in 6 days. Everything. Read it. So this teaching, and those of you that are teaching your students or kids or anybody that dinosaurs lived millions of years before man got here, you are welcome to teach whatever you want. But you need to understand, you are calling God a liar. I don't think he appreciates that. Okay? And he blessed the 7th day and the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Now what does that imply if you don't honor your father and mother?
Shorten them.
God will shorten your days. So instead of living to, I don't know, 70, 80, 90, you may live to 30, 40, 50. I don't know. He's going to shorten your days. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. So God gave 10 commandments. Usually they're summarized like this. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make a graven image. It goes to 10 commandments, and you see them posted all over the place. What most people do not know. Here's the Catholic 10 Commandments. Just Google it. Catholic 10 Commandments. Number 1, I am the Lord your God. You shall not have other gods besides me. Number 2, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Number 3, remember to keep holy the Sabbath day. Honor your father and mother. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. You shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. Hold on here. What did they just do?
They skipped one.
They skipped one. They took commandment number 10 and split it into 9 and 10 because they left out one of the commandments. Here are the 10 commandments. Here are the Catholic 10 commandments. Let's see. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Well, hold it. That's the 3rd one in the book of Exodus. Let's see. Remember to keep the Lord's day holy, the Sabbath day. Remember, that's what happened to commandment number 2? In the Catholic 10 Commandments, they leave out number 2 because it says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.